Hey, Cassandra, if that's you. Okay, simply. Okay. Hello, hello, everybody. Hey, lovely. How are you? Sorry about that. My mic was, I know. Okay, I'll start over. Um, I was just saying I'll be reading out of this book here, Watch Still Still Burning Brightly. Some people have wanted me to go back reading some of the stories. So I'll try and read. Oh, you still can hear me? Uh, you can hear me, Lovely? Let me know. Let me know. You can't. You can't hear me. Huh, could it be? Oh, oh, you can. You can. Okay. Yeah. Um, there's some people that wanted me to start back reading out of here, so I'll try and read two stories um, out of here. I got slight headaches, so but I'll go ahead and read stories. Okay, for those that have not heard any me reading any stories or don't know what this book is about ovarian cancer. Um, it's like 25, 26 women that were diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and they decided to put their stories together and make a book, so it could other women that may be diagnosed in the future with ovarian cancer. Okay, I'll just read the first. Torch stands for Tales of Remarkable Courage and Hope. Was published in 2007. The goal was to offer courage and hope to those women who would be diagnosed with ovarian cancer. We were also mindful of the depth of gratitude to those women who had earlier seen the need for an ovarian cancer support group. Both the founders and the women who attended in the early years laid the foundation. Our stories and hearts were also aimed at those ovarian cancer patients in treatment. Say these women burned brightly is an understatement. They have passed the torch on to us. We intend to burn brightly before we pass our torch on. It is with many thanks and much love that we dedicate this book to them. Hey, Language of Horses, how you doing? I'm reading a couple stories from book Ovarian Cancer Book. Glad to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? Oh, okay. All right. I think I'll start out like I always do, reading B's story. Bee was my wife. Passed away in 2014 from ovarian cancer. The title of her story is Living the American Dream. Today is my 52nd birthday, a day I really didn't think I'd live to see. You see, I was diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer and offered no hope of surviving beyond 3 months after the initial diagnosis. That was 2 years ago. Like many liberated women of my era, I was living the American dream. Free, black, successful, and very much aware of how many deaths were related to the various types of cancer. My journey began in April 2007, the day of my diagnosis. My symptoms began months prior to my 50th birthday. I undeniably had a textbook case of ovarian cancer. I was yeah. Immediately felt full after meals, suffered loss of appetite, developed abnormal menstrual cycles, and finally developed abdominal swelling and bloating. I was treated for everything from acid reflux, parasites, and was even told that I was pregnant before undergoing a simple blood test that could have saved my life. By my 50th birthday, I had gone misdiagnosed for 6 months prior to my medical examination, an examination that would not have taken place if I had not refused to leave the doctor's office until he figured out what was wrong with me. Only then was I scheduled for a colonoscopy, and the thought of cancer arose. I underwent the colonoscopy, which found several nodes that were deemed non-cancerous in nature. However, my symptoms continued and grew even worse. As luck would have it, I returned to the clinic for further treatment when a female physician, one I often saw, but who had been out on vacation and just returning, took one look at me and my bloated stomach and immediately asked when I had a mammogram. I replied, "You know that I have a scheduled medical exam annually, so what's the deal?" With that look in her eyes, she immediately ordered blood work and scheduled an ultrasound and CT scan for the following morning. All right, Nadia. Hey, how you doing? Okay. Morning came soon enough, and I was off to the imaging facility, not knowing what to expect. While you up there, Nadia, tell NYW I said hi. Um, okay. Um, and I was off to the imaging facility, not knowing what to expect. The staff was courteous, and all went well until I lay on the small exam table and the ultrasound began. My background is in the field of technology, so I was familiar with the images projected by the ultrasound. I could see the large mass, and it wasn't good. My heart sank. At some point, I choked down a bottle of barium and proceeded on to the CT scan. All I could visualize was the size of the mass located in my abdomen. Within 24 hours, I was referred to Baylor University Medical Center and Dr. Carolyn Matthews. Hey, Miss TR. By now, I was mad as hell and wondering why a correct diagnosis had not been made sooner, especially since I showed all of the known symptoms of the disease. Sadly, I had no idea just how bad it was to be. I knew that I had to tell my family and those closest to me what, as my partner, Dcop, I entered the Baylor Salmons Center, Cancer Center. The sound of the revolving doors rotated behind us seemed endlessly, and sight of so many cancer patients. Okay, all right. Um, okay. Yeah. The sight of so many cancer patients, young and old, stiffened me, and the smell of chemotherapy was gagging. We made our way to the second floor, where I was to meet Dr. Matthews for the first time. My my only thought was that I really hoped she had her act together. My sister, B. Beatrice, and Decop were seated in the outer reception area as I proceeded back into the small confined room, housing what seemed to be a very large table. Okay, Miss Tira. Facing me was a plastic sculpture of the female reproductive organs that indicated the various stages of ovarian cancer. Within 10 to 15 minutes, a young nurse introduced herself to me, provided me with numerous documents to complete. Okay. Yeah, Nadia, I got a headache too. um, okay, within 10 to 15 minutes, a young nurse introduced herself to me, provided me with numerous documents to complete, and asked me if I had any questions. My answer was yes. What exactly is wrong with me? Up until this point, no one, including my physician, had said the word cancer. She looked at me as if I was crazy, and I looked back at her just as stupid as I could and asked, well, bless her heart, she looked deeply into my eyes, took my hand, and said, darling, the doctor will be with you shortly. Time seemed to stand still as I sat there staring at the plastic sculpture. Finally, Dr. Matthews came in and introduced herself to me. Her voice was soft and soothing, and I immediately felt at ease. Our conversation progressed, and I again asked the question, what's wrong with me? She looked puzzled and said, test results indicate a large mass on your right ovary and quite possibly ovarian cancer. I was stunned. I didn't hear another thing she had to say. At some point, I was scheduled for a biopsy. As I made my way out of the patient area and back to the waiting room, I could see Lisa, okay, listening to her iPod. I tapped her on her shoulder and simply said, let's go. She asked what the doctor had said, and my reply was that we'll talk about it when we got home. I asked I asked her if she was hungry. I decided I decided we'd go to our favorite restaurant for Mexican food and a multitude of Long Island iced teas. All all the while I was contemplating just how I would tell everyone what was going on. Um, Telling my friends, my family and friends. Once home, I sat and told Dcop what the deal was. Cancer. Dcop, a little shorty who's cute as a button and the type of person who internalizes everything, was now staring at me in total dismay and asked, "What do you mean, cancer?" My only my only reply to her was, "Yeah." We sat down on the couch and just shook our head. I've been shot at, mugged, knifed, ran over, struck by lightning, and survived an airplane crash and two tours in Kuwait during Operation Desert Storm. And now this. What the hell? Now it was time to tell the family. I began by calling my youngest sister Beatrice. Now, Beatrice is the smooth, sophisticated type who's damn good looking and smart as a whip. I knew that I would have a lot of explaining to do when it came to her. So I just wanted to get this over with. Sure enough, she began with, "What type of cancer? What are they going to do? Chemo, radiation, what?" There's one good thing about having a younger sister. You know that she's going to have everyone's phone number on speed dial. By the next afternoon, the posse rolled in from Houston and San Antonio. I could barely get the door open as they burst in and began asking, "What are you going to do? Is your will in order? What about power of attorney? What about a simple hello?" The people were thrilled. These people were thrilled. I was still trying to wrap my mind around what was going on with me. So the commotion was a bit too much to handle. As I sat there stunned, my older sister decided I wasn't of sound mind and they should handle everything for me. I immediately let them know that my mental state was just fine. Everyone had instantly become an authority on cancer as well as my life. This was becoming a very stressful situation in a very short time. By day three, I had enough of them and they realized it. Offended and unable to understand that I had to come to terms with what was going on, they packed up and departed, all except for Beatrice, who planned to stay for the biopsy scheduled for later that week. In private, she asked me why I didn't want my family around. I had to explain to her in great detail that it wasn't that I didn't want them there, but that I needed time for all of this to soak in. Furthermore, I was and still am very independent and used to handling things my way. She looked at me and said, "Well, you're not in this alone." We prayed together and asked for strength and healing. Tuesday arrived right on time, and the three of us zigged off to Baylor. Beatrice drove, hey, Purple. Beatrice drove with that Houston type of vengeance. The cop rolled shotgun, and I hung on for dear life in the back seat of the GMC. Our arrival and check-in went well. I dressed in that nasty little gown and awaited transport. I was so hungry. I was rolled up and down hallways only to be parked in a line with other unfortunate patients. After about 15 minutes, it was my turn. What did I expect? Here I was on the table being prepped with this guy sticking needles into my abdomen to numb the area. Well, I have to tell you, they didn't use enough of that numbing stuff because I came right off that table when they began to stroke up and down with that sample collector. My eyes was nailed to the ceiling and I was visibly going into shock. I was cold. I was ice cold with sweat pouring off my body. I recall being restrained as they drew the last sample. The doctor attempted to explain what was to happen next. However, I really didn't care. I just wanted to get the hell out of there. When returned to my room, I found myself alone. My sister and Decop had gone out in search for food since none of us had eaten. Alone, my thoughts were of how lonely and sad this place was. Hours passed before I was informed of the results of the biopsy, which indicated malignant cells. We all just dropped our heads. At some point, a CT scan was conducted, and I was scheduled to meet with Dr. Matthews. Dr. Matthews, my stomach was swollen, and I had dropped approximately 80 pounds within the past 6 months. Hey, Miss Cleo. Okay. I entered the exam room where the sound of yawning offered a smooth serenade, and my doctor drank herbal tea. This meeting was Dr. Matthews was more informative, and we discussed a plan of action. I was in stage 4, meaning the cancer had spread to other organs. And I was I was to immediately begin chemotherapy and no radiation. The tumor was massive with a CA 125 off the scale. I then asked about the life expectancy of a of a of an individual in the stage 4. Her response was that normally ovarian cancer, if caught in the early stages, has an average lifespan of about 5 to 7 years. Since my cancer was so advanced and aggressive, the odds of 5 years were slim. And in reality, it would be best to take life day day to day. I staggered I staggered out the waiting room and discussed the conversation with Beatrice and Decop. By now, they both knew not to ask me too many questions. My thought pattern was only to grasp the information given to me at hand and keep it simple. I had absolutely no intention of dying before getting that first Social Security check at age 65. My sister remained with me for another week before returning to Houston. The cop remains to be my guardian. Chemotherapy. I have I have never been able to tolerate needles, and now I was in the living I was in living hell with 6 hours of chemotherapy and blood tests every week. This went on from April to June, and the chemo wasn't working. We tried another drug. Now every Monday it was blood work and chemo. This this one's not working either. By now, I looked like a 5'7" naked chicken. My stomach was hyperextended and filled with fluid to the size of a pregnant woman carrying triplets. And my hips looked like two pieces of bologna flapping in the wind. My teeth appeared to be larger than my head. I slept most of the day and prayed for the remainder. Suffered I suffered severe constipation in the beginning and finally was able to experience relief only after taking every known laxative. My God, this is insane. Okay. One day, as I stood in the shower, unable to see my feet because of my swollen belly, I cried out that I wasn't going out like this. I asked God to free me from this disease, and I chose life. Family and friends continued to rally around me, being as supportive as one could imagine. Daily, I received calls, cards from my sisters and coworkers. When I was when I was hungry, the doorbell would always ring, and there would be someone just on the other side of it bearing food. When my spirits were at its lowest, I would receive prayers in forms of letters, emails from friends and strangers. When my yard needed attending, the young boy from down the street whom I had mentored would cut it. When I looked like hell, the girls and I would do lunch, and they would always build up my spirits. Lastly, I endured hours of chemo. The cop was by my side, making sure all was good. It was now September 2007, and none of the drugs were working. CA, the CA 125 would always drop, and finally, hopes of a trial drug were offered. I was taken off chemotherapy prior to entering the drug trial program. So I decided a road trip was in order. Since I was deemed terminally ill, then I would go out in style. I began by having 6 liters of fluid drawn off my stomach so I could move around a little bit better. Purchased my dream car, a Jaguar XJ8, bought a road atlas, drew 5,000 out the bank, and bought 2 bottles of whiskey and two 6 packs of Coke, and headed on my way to points unknown. Of course, Dcop wasn't going to let me drive alone, so she became my road dog. We traveled to Oklahoma and experienced their centennial celebration, gambled on the penny slots, and floated through Brooktown. Next, we traveled throughout the Texas Hill Country, ate rattlesnake chili, and listened to very bad country music. There we rented a small shack of a cabin for a week and enjoyed all LBJ's country had to offer. The cop was a bit afraid when I said that we were going to live in a shack for a week out on the prairie. This poor girl had never experienced scenery without street lights or heard the call of the wild in the night. It was great. Each morning, I would make my way out to the porch with a cup of coffee and watch the wildlife begin their day. The peace was overwhelming. I would meditate and pray each day until a calm overtook me. One morning, I decided if God would allow me to make it through this, then I would build a cabin and offer it to people afflicted with cancer or those who just needed that calm. We ended our road trip by cruising up Highway 281, returning to Dallas. Since being off treatment, I found myself stronger with an increased appetite. Man, I love bacon. I began a simple exercise program in which I would walk from my corner to the end of the block. Now, I know that doesn't sound like much, but for someone who couldn't walk from the bedroom to the front door in under 20 minutes, it was considered remarkable. While on that walk late one evening, I was contacted by a representative from Baylor's Research Center where the trial drug program was being performed. The young man began asking me how I was feeling. My response was absolutely great. He then stated, "That's good. Now, Miss Moore, I have to tell you that you are no longer a candidate for the trial drug program." My heart sank and the strength in my legs gave way. It was all I could do to grab hold of a mailbox to steady myself. He went on to say that my cancer had stabilized with no indication of new growth. My response was, "Okay, what's next?" He said, he said quite pleasantly that I would be hearing from my doctor soon. In minutes, Dr. Matthews called, and I was still clenching the mailbox. She immediately asked me what I'd be doing. My response was praying. Again, she asked what had exactly I had been doing. Again, I responded with praying. Needless to say, I was in her office shortly after the conversation. I again entered. Uh, I again entered chemotherapy, and this drug had an effect on the cancer. Every Monday, I went for chemotherapy and continued on with my week. I began to make plans no longer from day to day, but now week to week. From October 2007 until September 2008, my CA 125 continuously declined. I returned to work at the amazement of my family, co-workers, and doctor with a mission on my mind. That promise I made, I had made to God was weighing on me with a indescribable sense of urgency to step into action. The ugly couch cabin. I began searching for property within a 100-mile radius of Dallas, on, only with a prom- premonition conveyed to me by my sister. I began searching in East Texas for cabins. Within 1 week, I had found and made an offer on a funky little cabin with a nasty wooden couch placed on his front porch. A realtor and ex-used car saleswoman was more than happy to assist me. We met at the cabin and spoke for hours. This would be her first sale. While we're in conversation, she noticed a small teal ribbon on the collar of my blouse and asked what type of cancer it represented. My reply was ovarian. Uh, she she then asked if I was a survivor, and I stated yes. She went on to tell me about her experience with breast cancer and spiritually how she has changed. We prayed at the entrance of heaven that I would be successful in purchasing it and that we would both be completely healed by God. The transaction to purchase the cabin went well until the day of the home inspection. I decided that it would be in the best to be interest to be on on hand for the inspection, and so did the realtor. We met at the cabin and chatted for a while when we noticed another car pulling into the drive. We both expected it to be the home inspector, but it turned out to be the homeowner. We exchanged the home inspector. Oh, but it turned out to be the home owner. We exchanged greetings. Then I noticed the pink ribbon on her bumper. I asked if she were a survivor, and her response was yes. We all looked at one another and began to exchange stories. By the end of the afternoon, we had laughed, cried, and broken bread together. I told her that the cabin was intended for rehabilitation and would be offered free to cabin cancer patients. She then told me that she had initially purchased the cabin to have a place to die from cancer. I closed on the property in mid August 2008, and from that date until December 2008, I have worked endlessly on refurbishing it. It wasn't until I drove by a lonely billboard located west of Canton, Texas, on Highway 20 that states, Jesus said, "It is finished," that I knew that my mission was completed. My CA 125 is on the rise once again, and I've been placed on another waiting list for a new trial drug program. I've made the decision to retire from the job I love so much and have decided to make the most of my remaining time. I have come to do I have come to realize several things. God has a sense of humor. You get out of life what you put into it. You all have a mission in life. Lives ought to be enjoyed, and never stop believing in miracles. So if you're ever traveling down Highway 20 and are in need of a place to rest, look for the ugly couch cabin. It's the one with the big silver gates. Be more. Yeah. Mhm. Lovely key. I'm glad Onyx doing all that yelling. Where she went to sleep. What's been going on? Uh, did Miss Cleo leave? I know it. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't seen what's going on. I'm glad she went to sleep because I think she Onyx do all that barking because you know she get on my nerves and then I go and get out the pen. It yeah love like haven't seen I haven't heard what's the name? It's, look like snacks. I don't know. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, definitely is. Yeah, I think it, right when it did that, it gave me a chest pain. I got an instant chest pain. All because I'm sitting in this room. Her this was her music room. Miss Cleo Lee. Oh, Miss Cleo Dip. That could be two people. That could be two people who who I'm looking at. I'm just trying to. It could be. I'm thinking that could be two people. The rent. Yeah, because this is this was B's sitting room. Her, her what's her instrument where she played her instruments. Um, yeah, this was she come in here and play her instruments. See her guitars, one here, one over here, and then her organ. Mm, hmm. Yeah, I did feel them. Yeah. Oh, what kind of dog your neighbor got? A small one or big one? Miss Cleo, I could be two people. Ranch or Rico. Pit bull. Big dog. Yeah, I'm scared of big dogs. Yeah, yeah, that was weird. That was a weird feeling to me. It was a weird feeling that came over me. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then yeah. Hmm. Yeah. That's yeah. That is that. I kept trying to look. And, mm, I kept trying to read and kept look, but I didn't. I couldn't see everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you got the hell out of here. Yeah, that was weird. I guess it's been I guess it's been dead on YouTube streets, huh? I heard Tracy was talking about, it's really been dead if Tracy was talking about something. Heard she talking about cancer. What she say? Cancer culture? I don't know what she was talking about. So it must have been dead. I don't know what that meant. It was dead. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Something negative. No, it was something. It was something negative. She don't have nothing to say. She don't have nothing nice to say about it. Mm-mm. She don't have nothing. She don't have nothing nice to say about it. Me, I I stayed up. I didn't go to. Stayed up all day and all night. But tell him I said hello. But he been playing with his kitty Gilbert. He been playing with Gilbert. Tell him I said hello. Tell him I was playing with my cars, my police cars. Searching is I don't know. You can't see. I can't sleep either. I tell you, I was playing with my cars. I'm searching. I I'm thinking he's searching. I'm thinking he's French too. I'm thinking he is too. You got kicked out of work. Had Gilbert hiding from us. I'm thinking she's French too. Hmm. Yeah, I think, yeah. Let's see. Now he has changed. Who are you talking to? Huh? He caught your chat. You got kicked out of my chat. How you get kicked out of my chat, lovely? Lovely. Lovely, how you get kicked out of my chat and you're mod? I don't know what lovely talking. I thought it was and you in chat. When? Do anybody know what lovely talking about? Lovely, you can't. How you get kicked out of my chat? It splits me. It splits you. See me. See me. I don't know what lovely I'm talking about. I don't know what lovely talking about. Okay, live in 30 minutes. Messy life. Lockheed let the men handle it. Was I proven right? Grow up. What is he talking about? Go out and come back in. So King is live, going live or live one. But is this the real Love Blake? I don't know what Love Blake talking about. It was doing that a year ago as well. What? Blake, I don't know what Love Blake talking about. Well, Lovely, you know, we can't see if you in blue. Let's see what he talking about. Let's see what Love Lake mhm. Let me from the I just this. No, I Love Lake. I don't know what you're talking about. Sir King talking about. Your Sir King is on. Triple links. Okay, well it's the real one. Love Lake Sir King is on. I don't know what he talking about. Let's see what he say. Messy lies. Head let the men handle it. Was I proven right? I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about. My stuff holding back. And but she said she'd be split. She'd be split off. I don't know what she be talking about. Tia, what? B Town says she on what she say road to 4K. Or she almost got her 4K. Or she just put that. See. Y'all want to read another story? Read another story? Well, let me, Miss T, are you on? You want me to read another story? Be right back. Let me use the restroom. Drinking that water.
Like, so it's pretty interesting. A lot of people that girls in high school and now she has to go to a prestigious university and have to do it online. It's kind of crazy. So it's affecting a lot of people in a lot of different ways. So our next topic is so basically we talked about China the other day with the vaccine. China has given Latin America and some other countries in Latin America about $1 billion.
Oh, okay.
So it makes even more sense as to why the US can't
All right. Hey, Miss Beverly, how you doing?
because
Oh, okay, Miss TR.
vaccine first. That university or that was developing vaccine, they were worried about
Oh, okay, purple. Um, Blake went.
And another thing, another question you should think about is what happens to the team that happens. The team, you see a person's team, they can't get fired. I think earlier, all this stuff. So what do you do when the faculty are expected to make a certain
Oh, okay.
now
Blake.
you're choosing your revenue, tuition, fees, even certain donations. This was the drive. So that's the other thing.
Mhm.
Christopher says Harvard is part of the great thing for early schools. Yeah, I agree. It became more semesters and semesters and so for 4 years, 8 semesters. Yeah, I agree. All right.
Okay. Oh, okay. I was trying to. I'm trying to get what's his group chat. Here, let me see. Mm, what is he got? Mm,
Like I said, I'm not fully impressed.
I guess it must be really dead on these streets on YouTube. I love Blake. Ain't nothing going on, is it?
You know, they should put out
Nothing going on. What's going on, Purple? Nothing.
power.
Oh, my head is hurting a
All
little
right,
bit. Oh, probably because I ain't got. I didn't eat today. I just thought about it. That's probably why I got a headache.
Okay.
How you been doing, Miss Beverly?
Sorry, I do not have that kind of rapport. Other people don't. And Dcop pops in my life from time to time. Whereas other people
What is that
mystery
trying to?
and I never see them. So
Somebody trying to
sorry.
tell it on me.
Natasha says it's not worth it unless you have a clinical degree like computer programming
Who
engineering
is that
because
trying to?
you get a Harvard degree in drama.
Who is
That's
that trying to tell it?
sports.
Trying to tell it, saying I'm streaming.
All right, so please thumbs up the live, y'all.
I come over sometimes and just don't say nothing. Oh, okay. Mhm.
Cindy, our UN nations representative says, trust me, Our Pan-American Omar Johnson.
Oh, okay, Miss Beverly. We're glad to see you. Glad to see you.
What? Oh, okay. That's cool. All right. So, Duchess, I seen you talking smack in other chats. I'll be watching. I'll be watching. I'm a tree swinger. I'll be seeing you talking mess. Don't think I don't know. It's all good for now. It's all good for now. It's all good for now. I'll be swinging from tree to tree, cloud to cloud. I'm delaying the mess because I know that people in here just waiting to hear me say what I'm gonna say. So but Lolo specializes in basketball.
Look at that. It's a lot going on. Talking about why is Dcop streaming your live?
Just keep it cute. Keep it cute because that avatar ain't cute. Anyway, I will address.
Please stop the look. Okay.
Yeah, you got it right. Casper definitely has the right name for tonight. There's a lot going on. It definitely is. Definitely is.
Someone said you were streaming him. Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, Lolo. If you say so.
Yeah, you know.
I was screaming the other day when you came out in that week. I'm just playing.
Oh.
I'm just playing, Lolo.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's get on to
the yeah.
Lord.
You know.
All right, it's 1:48.
I be listening.
I'm trying to get the y'all.
I be trying to listen to his live since he comes on different time, and I don't. I be wanting to. I be trying to listen to him.
So hopefully they'll be.
I don't want to miss his live.
They're still stuck on us. 48. Come on, the people who are the bush, the tree swingers, could y'all please leave so we can get started?
Yeah.
I know you're gonna run and send.
Yeah, I hate missing him.
Those content creators live. We talking about.
He come on different times.
King with his fat ass and thick tongue. And gay was talking about. Yeah, we heard it. Okay, all right, so we're there. So
yeah.
basically, what thank you for everyone.
Yeah, I like. Yeah, I like.
So let's start with the mess. So, Lockhead did a live about what happened with Lex.
Joke and play. Oh,
and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, and that person, what's that person?
Yeah, I really felt like.
What's that person?
And I played a lot, and I went back because I always like to see if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, then
it's a person.
And she was wrong, and I'm not afraid to say it.
It's a lot. It's a person. It's a lot going on.
And I went back and
told him.
And then
said I was screaming it, and he said he said it's okay. We got a relationship like that. It's okay.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, wow. Why
and simply say, Dcop is OG.
And then she started getting with the rah-rah a little bit. So let me play the live a little bit. Next night, I'm not going to play the live. I want everybody, if you're part of Avatar Nation, check out Lex Mac TV. She's a great person. I think she's one of the best people in this area of YouTube.
Yeah, I like that. I like this.
Bias, but this is no shade at you, Lex Mac. But I think your personal relationships with the people that were there led you to be a little bit biased. Even if you didn't know.
But I much talking.
But if you want to see the live that I'm referring to, please. It's the second live. So she had a live today with MC Shaky and Rihanna, and then it's the live or the video after that. So please, this is I'm not going to play her content. I'm just playing audio. I'm not going to disrespect her like that because I didn't get her permission to play her video. But I'm going to play the audio. It's really brief, but give her a click in the view. And like I said, she's very unbiased. She has a great platform. All right, so here we go. So you hear what I'm talking about. This is an exchange between Kiki and myself, and then Lockheed jumps in. You can tell by the dialogue there that I just feel like it was in place. So let me shut up and get to the messages real quick. All right, hold on, y'all. Let me stop sharing my screen. Share my
Oh, Miss Beverly.
screen. Listen up.
You might start talking, huh, Miss Beverly? Hush.
Commentary is going to be, you know,
Onyx, be quiet.
people up here to chill. Yeah, so start telling them to represent you better. Wait a minute now. Now look to me. You don't want that with me. You never had no issues. Don't start that. Okay, but this is how I is. Don't come in that week. Okay, first of all, you want to get with me. That's not don't do it. Oh, well, I actually didn't play it. Sorry. So, I'm sure. So there. So there y'all can see that she said what she said. I thought it was wrong. She even said that she was yelling at me or whoever, say, hey, when it was between us. Like, I just thought that was kind of wrong. And she said that that's my people. So what people's got to do with it? I just feel like he just jumped in the mix and let him get away with what he was saying was not disrespectful. So I just feel like let the men handle it. The men are going out of it. You could have just get out of it and just let us do it. And when you say that it's your people, I just feel like you just kind of legitimize you being unbiased and trying to just want peace. You were trying to shut me up or thought I was going wrong at your peace. And I think that's kind of wrong. Because since I'm not your people, you want to come at me. So this is another thing that I want to talk about too. Nowhere ever have I ever mentioned my education. I not one time mentioned my education. And during her video today, she kept saying, "Oh, he better because he got a degree, he got an education, he got." And I'm like, wait a minute, is there? I'm not once mentioning my education, so I don't get where you are projecting that from. Like I don't get that. I really don't get where that's coming from, and that's false. That's not true. I never mentioned anything about my education on here at all. So why would you even bring that into the conversation? It seems that to me as you're using that as some way to, I don't know, get back. I mean, just show that I'm trying to show other people. Y'all keep calling me condescending. I'd rather be called condescending any day than be quiet. And then the other talk about the whole thing with Kiki didn't get docs. Kiki did not get docs. Y'all didn't say nothing about Kiki when she said my name was Terrence. I didn't hear one peep from no damn body. Nobody said, "Oh, wrong, you're wrong for putting out his name. You're wrong for putting out his name." Now, one person said that, but now y'all want to run it. I think I think y'all just a bunch of hypocrites and it's wrong. Like, it's just straight up wrong. So let me go on to the other subject. Let me see. Yeah, I just think, I agree. It's not like I want to be liked, but don't sit up there and allow me. Like, I'm not one time ever mentioned my education, anything like that. I don't bring that up because I think that's kind of irrelevant. Like, why would I do that? They say, "Oh, you want to be General Jails?" I never even bring up General Jails. Never. I even don't even allude to his degrees. Nothing. I don't have in the past about where I felt like what he was doing, I think he could be a more benefit of YouTube, and now he's growing into that role that I spoke about earlier when I was criticizing. I said, you don't need to be dragging Anna, you don't need to be dragging Tracy. You could be speaking about political matters. You could be speaking about other things. Now he is doing that. So no, I don't. I never say anything about Jay Lewis. I never put him down for anything. I don't know, Indigo Star. They're trying to say that, oh, he brags about his education. I never say that. Be like, oh, you act like you're so educated. I'm sorry if my choice of words come across as if I'm educated. I never refer to that. I'm very humble. So I don't brag about it. You can never once bring up any clip of me bragging about my education at all. I don't think that's something people should be bragging about. You brag about it at a conference that you attended. That's all. So, all right, let me go back to share my screen again. Was I right? Okay, this is about to be very messy. Some people ain't gonna like me, but I don't give a damn, whatever it is. But I'm starting. Hold on. Somebody says Pizarro started that. She said she thought it doesn't matter. I mean, damn, it doesn't matter what somebody thinks. It's matter. What I don't like is when somebody goes and says, "Oh, he thinks because he got a degree or he educated that he better than other people." I can't quote off the top of my head, but they had a whole conversation about that. And like I said, I'm not one to mention my educational background.
Right.
There was one time somebody came on my platform and asked me, and I answered their question. That was it.
Ain't nothing wrong with being educated.
So, oh, I see what you're saying. I'm sorry. I see what you're saying. So, are you saying Pizarro started that? I got you. Yeah, I never throw around that. I don't think you can throw around your education as they're better than someone ever.
Being educated is not. Ain't nothing
right.
wrong with
And that's
being
what.
educated.
Yeah, you're right. That's what they think about you. I never said those things. I never said those things about you. I said, oh, you want to be like Jay Lewis. What? I never mentioned Jay Wilson over here. Except for when he's doing something, supporting what Max Craig, whatever, saying the N word. Him saying that white neighbors and that those white neighbors are going to call the police on black people driving through this neighborhood. So, like I said, in that statement, it sounds like he's supporting profile. All right, so the lecture says, that's true. It's part of the whole conversation. The murder plot from back in the silence of keeping. Yeah, so I was an idiot. He's called one because they. All right, let me get this one. Right. So let me move on to the next thing. Was I right? And this is about to be very messy. So Reed, and this is no alleged, he said that, oh, I know who Sir King is. I have his information. Right. So then Kwani comes and says, oh, well, I was watching Reed and I heard Sir King has been talking about me and Reed together. And do you want your name put on my manifest? Do you want your name on my community wall? Because I'll release your information too. So I'm getting to thinking, so was I proven right about Reed and Kwani having an apparent connection? And that because Reed said she had my information, Kwani said she had my information. And then they said, oh, I've been had your information, Sir King. Now I'll put it out. You let me know. And Kwani doesn't know. I didn't flag her live at all. What flagged her live, I think, is because she kept saying the F word, the gag word with the F over and over and over again. And to grabbed onto that language. passed her life down. That's what I feel. And then when she came back, she was as sweet as a mouse. No curse word ever. But like I said, it's interesting that I said something about Reed, and then all of a sudden, Kwani emerges and says, "Oh, I'll put that on my wall." So it is what it is. But I just wanted to bring that because this is messed up. Now you see, Reed, why people are saying that you two are hooked at the hip. You know what I'm saying? By association, I don't know. But you come out threatening me, and then soon after you make the vid, she comes out saying she'll put my info on the wall. So choose your friends more carefully, Reed. That's all I'm saying. Because they give you a bad look. I only go by what is told to me. I only go by what I see. And she caught you up in this. She said that she heard your lie. And you in that lie said you have my information. Now she said she's going to post that information. So therefore she implicated you in this. That's all I got to say about that. The tapes are there to prove it. So I can't say allegedly on that. Because she did mention your name. But anyway. Alright, let me see what y'all say. I'm impressed, Sir King. My Jay was ignoring the mess. People so eager for him to talk about it. DJ was I don't know, but I'm glad he's not doing the mess. I think he's offering his wisdom that he has, and it's being a benefit to those who are attracted to that kind of content. Which I always told him that he can still do the mess. He also needs to grace us with some other stuff outside of it. All right, so let me see. Sir King. Oh Lord, I don't know what that is. But she don't dox. She hit him into doxing Rico the Brat, though.
Who doxed Rico the Brat? Oh,
no, Lemon was creepy. Was that damn bad? I was told they Tales from the Crypt. I went, oh my god. Hello,
my dog.
How you doing?
I'm like, Reed. I mean
okay, so let me see. And the whole
Reed of the Philadelphia.
was just saying that the whole thing with Kiki 1515 and the Treaty, and my name was Terrence, and false outrage. So that's all I pretty much had to say tonight, y'all. I just wanted to address those things. It was messy, and I'm going to be more transparent from now on. I'm going to stop being so. I don't know what using so many subliminals. I really am. So I don't know what was messy. I don't know. People just don't value respect here, and that's not we're going to be disrespectful. But people just don't value respect. People don't value you keeping them out the mess. You know, it's crazy. And what was it? 5-on-1, that whole lie. That lie was supposed to be between me and you. Not between James Caldwell, not between Pizarro, not between Lockheed Boss Lady. Like, they can invite whoever they want. It definitely was. And then when I called Kiki out about having the specs wrong, nobody didn't say a word. It was crickets. So, anyway, I'll drop the link in case y'all want anything to say. There go Mr. Zyro. 50 folks on StreamYard. So yeah, so let me see. I also was reading about this saying that a martial law is about to be in order, but it's because of the incidents in Portland. I don't see how the incidents in Portland can translate all the way over to all the other states for it to be martial law. So not probably just for. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I know he went to where did he go? He went to Chicago and he went to Albuquerque. Those were the other 3 places. I think he may have went to Texas. I'm not sure. But I don't see how that'll become a national issue. But we'll see. They also said we need to shut down for COVID as well. That wasn't messy. Did you just say you told Jay Wilson? I don't know. That's used by Shawnee. I think that's an incomplete statement. I don't know what you mean. God damn a lie. Worry about yourself. Miss you know Tracy blocked her. No, she won't block her. we know that, she can't say what she wants to say about you.
13, yeah,
Time to the choir said, Sir King, the trees want to know if you have addressed the Duchess matter. Yeah, I addressed it. I just told her I'm watching.
I finally heard you.
I'm watching. I just seen them ask your own. Oh, you definitely hold your composure. Yeah, I mean, I did. I mean, you only can take so much, right? That's why people start seeing you as a doormat. Everybody's saying, "Oh, James owned him. James owned." I don't think James owned me at all. I served at him when he served at me. But sometimes when you let people speak, they show their own ignorance. You don't have to really do too much, which I think was what happened yesterday. So King of Streets wants to know if avatars have freedom of speech and movement are represented. There goes Star, I do. But Avatar Nation also are not hypocrites or not fakes and frauds. Let's just see come over here and pass me.
Ain't no problem, Miss Beverly.
For no reason.
Yeah,
just going below the belt. And that's when
quiet.
That's not cool.
Ain't nothing going on.
That's not.
Not a thing. You take care of Miss Beverly. I guess we'll be getting off here early. Ain't nothing going on. Nothing going on. You have a good one.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going
on. What's going on? He's talking about a lot going on.
But I don't prevent people. The difference between having your opinion. If you can say, "Oh, well, Sir King, he rushes subjects, or he doesn't come across as well informed about the matter." Speaks about understand that. But saying that, "Oh, Sir King does this and Sir King does that," and being messy in order to ingratiate yourself with the content creator, I don't appreciate that. That's not cool. Because I really don't see nobody doing that over here too much. So, yeah, emphasis of freedom of speech. Yeah, but you can have as much freedom of speech as you want. But it's like people are turned off.
Lovely, did you get your soap?
You just gotta I guess we have to adjust. I don't know. But she was, I can't remember the comment on the top of my head, but she was being a little bit disrespectful. What she said. Well, I don't think so. Your interpretation, I don't think James held me at all. What, sit up there and call somebody a queen over 1,000 times, over and over again? I mean, that doesn't take much effort.
She probably did fall asleep.
Take much effort.
Mm-hmm. You hadn't got it yet.
Oh, you queen. You're for queen. Okay, that gets old.
Not yet.
Damn deal.
I hope.
I don't know what you got, Mark.
I still want. I hope she still got some that creed. I have to get my.
You're on Duchess.
Oh. Yeah. What's the problem?
Get my.
You guys can see me in the chat, right?
Yeah, we see you.
It feels like I'm being talked about like I'm not here. Like I'm right here. I'm just
It's not 8.
Yeah.
I want to get a headache.
So what's the problem?
I'm going to have to give me a
I just saw you in somebody's chat.
I don't do subliminals. So can you tell me who's chat?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I don't want to say before to say something that is. I don't remember specifically. Go back and look at.
So you're coming at me with no facts.
No, not at all. No, it is facts. I saw you there. I'm not going to be and involve you in involve another content creator and have another fallout. I don't like what I said about their name. No,
okay, but I'm telling you to tell me what I said. There ain't gonna be no fallout. Like what you think?
I'm just saying. I know that. I'm not committing that to memory.
You know, I come right in your chat with the fool
Not
la.
yet.
Like, I tell you to your face, especially with that whole Chris W thing. Like, I went in on you hard right in your own chat. So it's not like I'm smiling in your face and then going somewhere else talking about you like a dog. Not talking about you like a dog right there.
Duchess.
Right here.
The
So don't do me like
Duchess.
that. Like I'm some backstabbing, conniving old.
Never said that. Never said that.
The,
You did insinuate that.
that female, the Duchess.
Keep it cute mean I can't keep it real. I can't be honest.
All I said is just don't go low.
I don't understand what it's not like I'm out here calling you Sir Queen like everybody else does. I don't do a personal attack. My stuff is always on what you say or what you write. Which is the whole basis of YouTube, is it not? If you didn't want people to comment on your stuff, then you wouldn't post it.
Right? What I'm saying is that I saw something, and it caused me to even say, "Oh, okay." So I wasn't, I thought it was a little bit below. That's all. Maybe get caught in the moment.
I don't usually get caught in the moment, and everything I type, I am 100%. You know what? Everything I write, I just assume that the person I'm talking about is reading it. That's just how I roll.
Oh, good. I knew you could take the heat in the frying pan, so don't worry.
Oh yeah, I don't dish what I can't taste. You know, but it just seemed like you were accusing me of being shady. Like I'm all friendly and I love you, Sir King, over here, and then I go somewhere else and talk about you like, no,
You never.
I'm shady anyway.
Oh,
don't worry about that.
My interest.
Don't worry about that.
Okay. And I just watched. I mean, like,
oh, really?
Literally, you know what? I've been
we
trying
thought you fell asleep.
Right. Literally, right before you came on, I watched the Lex Max.
Oh.
That seemed very
unfair. You say you didn't you didn't cook today.
That was extremely one-sided.
I must have a hungry
But you know what's the best part about
headache
is that now they'll go and people hear that, right?
I must not
they'll put it in different other people's lives and they'll be like, oh, yeah, Sir King was disrespectful, Sir King was rude, Sir King was condescending.
I'm gonna have to
that's the narrative that gets spun.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I said. The female Duchess, not DFK. Yeah.
All things.
Like what's that? What lotion?
Like the RuPaul thing.
I don't think.
No, I'm just like, when you're watching and you're like, commentary in your mind, like, don't go there.
I don't know. When you sit and call somebody and F word, all this other stuff, and all the rules. I'll bring in RuPaul. I'll bring in Madonna. I'll bring in whoever. You want to get low and you want to get cut up because obviously you don't respect me trying to keep that on the plate. I kept that off the plate. So now let me bring that on the plate since you want to play like that.
And in all fairness, you didn't.
I mean, well, I did use the F word.
Lasagna. That sounds good. I love lasagna.
In order to say,
I might have some lasagna.
You have to cuss them out.
I got one piece left.
Well, to me, that's
all.
I think I'm gonna have to warm that up.
But you just happened to say the F word in context of the whole thing. That wasn't really a cuss out. Like you said.
Three words.
Lord have mercy. Okay. Did I just see Langston up here? Where'd he go?
His internet dropped him out. Hey, Shauna, you have anything you want to say? Thanks for stopping by.
Hi. Oh, I wanted to say, I thought I heard you say something about Jay Wilson that you told him how to change his platform or something.
No, I didn't tell him.
Maybe I have my phone cut out.
I didn't tell him verbally. I did say on my platform that I wish he would do more like positive or formative content rather than just the dragon that he was doing. It's just that he's switched it up, so I applaud him.
Why do you think he switched it up? You think he switched it up because you said that, or do you think he?
No.
Why do you think he switched it up?
Because it's draining to be in the list. When you're speaking about something that's positive, there's no.
You,
About people, their lifestyle, and saying opinions about them, who they are, then you're automatically creating energy and enemies.
And how long you think he gonna be acting positive?
I don't know until something changes for him.
All a game. It's all a game. All a game. If he's working or doing something like that, and he leaves his job, he'll be back. Faster than he.
You cooking for us over there?
Oh, I am cooking. Can you hear that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's frying. What you frying?
You frying bacon? Like I can say
pancakes. I'm sorry for the Christmas. Sorry, let me.
No, it's all good. It's all good. We added to the dynamic of the show.
No, but I did. I was just wondering. I thought she said something about you told Wilson about his platform. I thought.
I didn't tell him that. I just said in my video.
Oh, I do have another question. The C, what's his name? The guy that comes on the panel sometimes. C, white guy. What's the situation with him? Because the last time.
For my custom man?
No. What's the situation with him?
Crystal.
I don't know.
Oh, Christopher.
Because that's the last time I was here. You were saying something about black people. What happened to him?
Ain't nobody on. You too straight. It must be bad.
He had apologized. Yeah.
Oh, I must have missed it.
Oh, garlic bread.
Someone also mislabeled him. And while he was under the spell, he came to the realization that he was under the spell and then understand that. What he said.
Ain't got no garlic bread. I like that garlic bread with what is it? Five cheese garlic bread. My daughter used to buy that is it 5 cheeses? I think it's with 5 cheese on. Ooh, that'd be good.
No, you gotta finish serving the meat first.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for coming through and teaching us how to cook tonight. That was you did not shut up the show. So thank you so much.
That's it.
For that verse.
Like cheese.
So what's up, Duchess?
Yeah, they were.
Trying not to be rude. So reading the chat.
Every Wednesday.
I was just laughing, so I was trying not to interrupt.
So Lemon, you don't know the difference between rain in a frying pan?
No, it could have been rain. Like, you know, when the rain hits, I guess an air conditioner or something. It did sound like they fried. That's what I thought.
I was joking, Lemon. Don't think it personal. Okay, so here's what you
Can you put this comment up? I can't see you half nigga at the Duchess. I have so many screenshots of your shade and 20 faces. I usually don't give people my email, but I would really enjoy seeing that. I don't have 20 faces on this F1. And Indigo Star is correcting me up. I'm not friendly. I'm not a naturally friendly person. And I don't mean to ignore people. I just can't chat. Glasses on. I'm dyslexic. My name's not highlighted.
The reader was always outside cussing
Duchess with T. You want to put that T in there, you're going to get it going.
every Wednesday.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Tell you her favorite.
You were saying that in the beginning you were saying that people say certain things are going to get booted from the stream. And I just was wondering, what are those things that will get you booted off the stream? And certain buzzwords, the N word, the B word, what's gonna get you kicked off the stream?
Circumstance, right? You can't say the B word to a woman. You can't say other things. Sensitivity.
Brian Baker.
Yeah, but I get, well, sure, it's your boy, it's your place.
She has,
No, you just play back. You just can't.
Purple Auntie said she has C. She has C and Purple took care of her. Oh, she was so sick. Oh, okay. I'm her right hand man. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's good.
Next week I'll be a heifer. Let's keep the eggs going.
Them so messy people. There's some messy people over there in what's his name? Sir King's chat. Ain't they? Messy. Just going over there talking about why is Dcop streaming your live? Not you, little Blake. That the one I forgot the name of the person. So it's like why they bring their ass to my chat in my clouds and then going over there like they telling something. Oh, this one that said it's a lot going on. That's the one. Yeah, in my clouds, and then going over there telling. Why Dcop over there just streaming your live, and then he bust a bubble. Just They ought to know. They ought to know better. But now, many times, many of them that have done it, he tell them already. Do I have a bruise? Is that a bruise on my arm? Is that a bruise? Is that a bruise, Purple, on my arm?
I would be open to it if there was like,
Let's see.
if there was an example.
It look like a bruise.
Example.
It look like a bruise. Did I hit my arm? I think that is a bruise on my arm. Yeah, that's a bruise. I get a bruise on my arm.
I don't take like a lot of people.
Yeah. That is a bruise on my arm. Yeah, my sister hit my arm. Hit my arm or something.
Photograph of what I'm writing.
I didn't even know it. God dog it, that's a big bruise too.
Right now, streaming, searching, taking notes.
Okay, but in actual content creator.
Wow. That's when you ain't still cooking.
And I'm wondering.
I'm about to get off here and eat. My stomach growling so hard.
Right.
Okay.
You talk behind the scenes. We always thought there was sexual tension between those two, but I do think they communicate. Their type of relationship will hope that zero tolerance to each other. Doesn't seem to be as toxic that, and there's that same type of sexual tension, but this type of tension appears to be a little bit. But they respect each other, they appreciate each other. Friendship has come a long way.
Well,
Getting along so well. That's exactly how this relationship.
oh, she's still gone. Get off here because I'm hungry. You talking about your lasagna and your what is it? Your garlic bread to make me hungry. I ain't got no garlic bread. Yeah, but in this shirt, show my, show my boobs.
Yeah, that's what I agree. Everything she's saying as far as you have no proof that means you're working. Don't put that out there. Then when she went to the alley park,
I don't know why my I don't know how I got this what was on my arm. I must have gotten it when I fell. My foot
the thing
I need to be going to the doctor to check my I'm Papa, you still here? I was talking. I'm probably talking to myself. I did something to my foot too. I guess I think when I fell on that bed, when I tripped over that bed, I must have did something to my foot because my ankle is swollen. I tell you. Ain't nobody responded, so I'm stop talking. Well, Cassandra's probably up there.
that was her address. Knock it off.
Oh, I feel like going to no doctor, but I wanted to. What the hell did I do to my foot? Did I done something? You come over this weekend? No, they didn't. Yeah. Oh, you babysitting? Oh, okay. I heard. Look at that. Look at that bruise on. I didn't even know I had that bruise on my arm, and I don't know what I don't know. I may have. I was carrying that rug. I may have gotten it when because I got this huge rug that covered almost that whole room back there, and I may have gotten it was carrying it. And I'm glad it was back there, so they didn't destroy my wood floor and the tilling. And I was carrying a box, so that may be how I got it. Oh, it's a big old rug. I know it. His little bad self. Did he get? I think he got. Did he get a haircut? Oh, he's supposed to get one. I hope he. I hope he do. I have pain in my back. Hurts like him. My back has been bothering me, and you know what? My foot. I got some pain in my foot. My ankles. My ankle is swollen, and I'm thinking I tripped over. I had taken the mattress off of um that room where my daughter was sleeping in. Now the frame is still there, and I accidentally tripped over there and fell. And I'm thinking that's what's wrong with my foot. When I move it, it hurts so bad. I don't know if I hope I ain't broke a bone in it or something. I'm gonna have to go to the doctor. Like, damn, no wonder they sent me to the geriatric department now. Sure. I'm tripping, tripping and falling. First, I was mad because I'm like, damn, ain't that I am not that damn old. Why I'm going to have to go to the geriatric department now? But now I'm tripping and falling. But now I see what. But now I'm going to have to go and get my foot checked out. Yeah, I went to I was gonna step over the frame and didn't didn't step up high enough, tripped over it, and girl, I hit fell right on my boobs. You talking about hurt? I was hurt, and my ankles, both of my ankles are swollen. I was like, what the heck? You're not looking at this. Now I'm gonna have to go to the doggone doctor. On their I know I need to go. I really don't want to go because of the doggone um, COVID-19. I haven't been out of. I have not. Boy, I take it back. I went this past weekend. I would have cried. it, that may be. I think that's where I got that bruise from. That I just not noticed. I just not noticed that I had this bruise there. I think that's where I got it from. I hit because I hit that. I hit the whatever those iron things that go. That's where I got this from. I didn't even know I had it. And then I hit my boobs. I felt flat. Dang. I said, oh. I hit the ow. I haven't heard from a doctor in about 6 or 7 months. I haven't been to the doctor and that long. And miss my doggone um my Botox. Doctor called me on the phone. Called me on the phone. I was like, I said, okay. I think I go in August. That's if they don't cancel it. Because if that other strand of COVID, they may cancel the one in August.
Know what goes on. But that was but okay. I don't know. Oh, no.
Yeah. I go take my mammogram. I may have a bruise on my boot on the inside. Hard as I hit. Um, yeah. Mm-mm. Um, it ain't nothing. They got a custard. He got a he's got a really strange voice. What do you say, Dcop? They ain't yeah. He got a strange little voice. Haircut. Oh, custard. What's his name? Custard man. And he's got a strange voice. Custard man. Wonder what the other one that be on that lemon. Oh, he's on there. Who's on there? He said, and yeah. These people. Oh, well, That bruise is ugly. I didn't even know I had it on there. On fail. You know it's bad when the doctor they ask you every time you go to the doctor, have you fallen in the last 3 months? That's when you get old. When they call you geriatric, they ask you every time you go to the doctor, have you fallen in the last 3 months? They ask you every time. Yep. So they do that. They ask you that. I used to wonder, well, like, why do you ask me? I used to be like, no. And then they ask you, have are you safe at home? Do you feel safe at home? I'd be like, yeah. Like, did anybody hit you? I'd be like, no. Have a problem? No. Like now, I'd be like, yeah. Oh well. Um, As little Blake is past your time. I was, yeah, Geritol. I do. I they be looking at me like Geritol. Yeah, yeah, I take Geritol. They be looking like they still make Geritol. Yes, they still make Geritol. Let's see. Okay. Well, y'all, I'm gonna get off of here. Let y'all. I'm gonna get something to eat because my head is hurt. And, uh, Get this. Get this. Get this from blocking my thing. Wait a minute. Covering up my. This is covering up my. When they start school, everybody, all of them start school in September. This is rules. Did you see? Wait a minute. Hold on. Keep covering up my. It's covering up my thing. Um, let me get all these out of the way so I can see. Okay, let's see. Did you see going on? You know about her? Yeah, I seen it. Atlanta. You do thinking that Atlanta nurse. What you talking about? Right. Yeah. No one who's. Oh yeah. He's getting ready. Oh lovely. Oh yeah. All right, y'all. Well, y'all have a good night. See y'all tomorrow. Well, it's midnight, so see y'all tonight. Y'all have a good one. Go in there and warm up my lasagna. Give me some to eat so I can get rid of this headache. All right, Cassandra. See you later on tonight. Have a good one. Give me some to eat. Have a good one. Night. Love Lake Purple. Cassandra. Have a good one. Two.